When people are released from jail, they have the responsibility to appear in court. But some of these people choose to go on the run.
They go back home to mommy.
And that is when these guys come into the picture. So sit back and listen to the Off the Hook podcast with Chad and Rob.
Very fine people on both sides.
These are real stories, but the names have been changed.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Rob.
And what's up? I'm Chad.
How you been, Chad?
Good, Robert. Approaching the holidays.
I know, right? So this episode kind of will go out right before Christmas, or next week right before Christmas.
Yeah. Yep.
So everybody at home, we hope you have a very Merry Christmas. And I'm glad we can say Merry Christmas.
Yes, we can. I didn't know we never could.
Well, I know.
You're supposed to say Happy
off.
Holidays.
Whatever. It's Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas if you're conservative. Happy Holidays if you're a Democrat.
Or you can just go cry somewhere. Hey, Chad, how you like the shirt I wore today, sir?
Man, that is a nice shirt.
Right. Let's see if I can see it. If I can turn around.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. See in the back?
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
I like
that,
it,
don't
man.
you?
I like it. That's
Guys,
nice looking.
this is my look.
I got those for Rob and I for duck hunting, and
I'm a
I've
huge
got
duck hunter. And
few
I love
others if you guys want any. I'm getting the site together.
He's got it going on, guys. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Appreciate
it, man. Appreciate it.
I like it. I love it.
Hey, man.
I want some more of it.
Yep, we're gonna work on more of it. That's right.
Oh man, so how's the family doing? Family doing well?
We're good, man. We're good. How about you?
Same old. Just trying to do the rat race through the holidays.
Yeah.
So I thought it was fitting to wear this shirt today since we're going to be talking about the Mississippi, Louisiana area.
Yeah. We went to a conference there a few years back.
Down New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans is when we met Mr. Clay Higgins.
If you can see him right above my head, you see right here?
Yeah, that year was the last time
I think we went to the PBUS.
Not sure. Might have been.
Hey, I don't know. It
That was right
Vegas.
after Beth Chapman died.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, because I remember you sponsored something that day.
It was a that's right. There's a picture of you and I with the sponsorship board for the Beth Chapman Foundation.
So if I don't think we've even told the audience about our relationship with Beth and Dog and Leland. I think they know about Leland because we do a lot with Leland. But we know Dog and Beth. We knew Beth.
Yeah.
And
we got to meet him a couple times and talk to him.
Got to talk to him.
She wasn't fond that we were possibly getting a show.
Yeah. Well, we won't get
that was another issue. But yeah, that never happened. So she can rest easy.
That Louisiana area and Mississippi area, man, it's a whole different world down there.
Yeah. So it's like for us, it's like crossing the state, just going from state to state down there. So we were running like Louisiana, Mississippi, they all like just touch it. You can be in different states.
Speaking of that area, did you hear about Phil from the Duck Dynasty?
I did hear something about he's got Alzheimer's.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Duck Dynasty.
Uh-huh.
I love the family. We'll send a prayer out to you and your family, and hope the best. And I'm glad he's
Duck Dynasty. It's the only duck I had.
That's
within
right.
Arm's reach.
So now, do you want me to go ahead and play this for you?
What's this?
This is something I picked out for the
Okay, sure.
Show. Ready?
This is on Rob.
Mississippi Queen!
Yeah, baby.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Mississippi Queen!
All right.
So I guess that leads into
my story time.
I can tell stories. Got too much to tell.
Of course, Chad's gonna tell this one, guys.
Got too much to tell. I can tell stories. Got too much to tell. I can tell stories. Got too much to tell. I can NBC.
All right. So this story, Chad's going to tell, because this is something that happened before I came along. It's been a while.
Yeah, like I said, some of these stories like we're trying to tell before they get too old to remember. And this one goes way back. This is actually when I worked for a guy when I got my start. And this was a skip from Wilmington. The guy was, I remember, he was a builder here in town. He basically got paid to do a job, and he took the money and never did it.
So are we what we name?
Bob the Builder. Bob the Builder.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So Bob the Builder, like I said, got out. I remember it was a $10,000 bond. He left Wilmington and took off. Well, this was going back a long time ago when we didn't have the internet like you know it now. I mean, I think it was in the early stages. Right. So, people can't, a lot of bondsmen and people can't even theorize, what it's like not to have the internet as we know it. But yes, some of us are old enough to know what it was like before then.
Damn, Chad, don't tell you.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, so you have to do the old-fashioned way. You have to go visit people. You have to physically show up on their doorstep. You have to make phone calls. And what we did with this, I was handed to it. I was a rookie, just figuring it out. And there was a guy in our town here in Wilmington that all he used to do was go around to all the bonding companies, and he was the bounty hunter. And I remember he went to Bob Burton's School of Bounty Hunting out in Arizona. So we thought he was, he was the stuff. He knew it. He'd been to Bob Burton's place.
Right.
And I hired him the guy I worked for did, and I went with him. So this guy had his little minivan rigged up with the shackles through the floor.
What color was it? I'm curious.
The van?
Yeah, the van. Do you remember?
I don't know, man. It was just, it was very inconspicuous. You can blend anywhere with those things.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Is that where you got your love for vans at?
Might have been, man. I don't know, man. They're just comfortable to travel in. They're really good on gas.
I mean,
and
they're
roomy.
We've been in quite a few.
And they have a lot of cool features. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want one. I actually did have one later. It was one that was kind of ragged out. I used for doing pickups. Oh, God. Yeah, my wife hated that thing. I had a couple vehicles that were really hated. I had this little Chevy HHR, if you guys know what those were.
Oh, yeah.
And back when I started, I wanted to get my name out there. And I had it wrapped by Image Monster here in town. They do all of our wraps that you see behind us.
They've been in business for a while, too.
Yeah.
Image Monster, we got to give you a big shout out. You do a great job. They do all their stuff, too, back here.
Yeah, they do all this stuff. But I had them wrap my logo on a little silver HHR. It was a guy with a hook in his mouth, off the hook, and he had a big hook. Anyway, that was something that the owner came up with, and I was like, all right, that's cool. It definitely caught people's eye. So, park places, and people would remember the name.
Right.
And that's the whole point of good advertising, right?
Yeah, and 20-something years later, we're still here doing it.
I guess it worked.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got up with this dude that, was the bounty hunter, and we go through the paperwork. We got this skip, and it comes down to how well did you take information. James wouldn't do good at this. He would fail. He doesn't get information. He relies on his PI skills. But I had, pretty decent, from the start, if you do it, you will continue to. So one of the names on there was this lady. And again, back then we didn't have the databases that we have now,
right?
That we use. So, and I wasn't a licensed PI at that time, so I didn't have access to anything else.
I don't know if it was available.
It probably wasn't back then. I mean, we're talking literally 1998.
Wow. I was still in high school, bro.
Yeah.
I was in high school having a good time in 1998.
So we got together, went through the information. I started making phone calls. I call one lady that's his mother. Now, this guy, let's see, Bob the Builder, he had to be in his late 40s, early 50s. my guesstimation from what I remember. And he had a few brothers. They were all in the construction trade. Construction's one of those jobs that you can be pretty...
Pick up a hammer and go.
Exactly. Like painters, like house cleaners.
God, so many house cleaners.
You know, I'm not making fun of the professions, but they are ones that you can leave and start somewhere else.
We just hear it a lot.
We get a phone call. Hey, what kind of work do you do? I do house cleaning. Hey, I'm in construction. So really, you have no tie to anything,
right?
So anyway, that gives you a feel of kind of who I'm chasing here. I got one of the numbers on the information sheet, and it was his mother. So I call up, not as Chad the bondsman, but as Chad, one of his friends, looking to get up with him. So I got a really big break. She said, "I'm not." She didn't think anything of it. She said, "Oh, he's down with his brothers down in Mississippi working on a house. There was a hurricane that went through there, and they're doing hurricane repair to these houses down there."
So how did did you have that gut wrenching feeling when she told you that? Did you feel sick? Like, damn, I got to go all the way down there?
Yeah, because I was basically by myself back then. You know, the guy that went with me, I mean, he was just kind of hired. You know, he got a percentage, like any bounty hunter, to help. And this was on the guy that I worked for, but I wrote the bond, so, you know, I took it upon myself to go do this. Anyway, so now we have a phone number, and we know that he's in Mississippi at a house. Back then, you had to be a little more creative on how you were going to find out things, like who owns a house. You have to make calls.
Right.
You know, and we were able to find out who belonged to the house that they were in. We were able to find out that. I remember that. So now we're ready to go down there and look. And we took off, went down to Gaucher, Mississippi.
And that's not a short drive from here.
No, Gaucher's right on the Gulf, and it's like right next door to Louisiana. And you can drive there along the Gulf right there. You can be in different states in a matter of 30-minute drive.
Yeah, I've been through there. It's pretty like boom, boom, boom. You're
right. It's like for us, it's like, you know, leave Wilmington, we're in Raleigh. It's like you've already crossed 2 states in that distance.
Yep.
You know, you're in the Florida Panhandle, Mississippi. You go to Louisiana. Anyway, we get down there, and we go down. I remember it was just a little road with houses, like a normal neighborhood, and they were at the very end of it. Now, usually in these situations, these types of folks, when it gets this far, they're usually a problem for other people. You know, that's usually.
I can see that. I can see where.
You know, like this is why I've told you when we go places, like you find a good neighbor.
Yeah, neighbors are awesome.
Yeah, if you find the right neighbor, they will be an ally to help you.
I'm not lying to you. I've seen it. I can't tell you how many, a dozen times.
Yeah, but you can basically it's easy to spot for the most part because they usually take care of their stuff, and you know that they don't want anything messed up. If they have a nice yard and they have nice things, they want to keep it that way.
But back then, though, you got to remember, like today, it's a lot different than it was back in 1998.
Yeah.
1998, you had, you didn't have the fentanyl problem. You didn't have...
No. I think this guy was a drinker, but that's been around forever.
Yeah.
But I don't think he had, like, the drug issue that's out that we have to deal with today. It wasn't like that. But, so I have his number. All right. So we get down there, go down the street. He's all the way at the end. And, the house was, the address. We look around and we see a neighbor's house, and we're like, bingo. That's the guys that we want to go and talk to. So it's a gamble, but let's go do it.
But you're down there. So, it's go time.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, you got to pull the trigger. So we go up, we talk to them, we tell them who we are and what's going on. They're like, yep, we know exactly who you're talking about. He's in this house next door to us, but he comes and goes. And he's got like 3 brothers.
So how was the neighbors' demeanor? Were they like straight up 100% forthcoming, or?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
they were very, in fact, they had an open carport on the side of their house, like just one of those little with a roof and little metal things that support it so you can see through. It's not bricked in.
Right.
They said you can park up here and you can do anything you want. Just get rid of them.
Don't you love them neighbors?
I love those.
The neighbors are awesome, man.
So, yeah, so we pull up in there and it starts getting dark. And dark is when you got the fishbowl effect going on in the house, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is going back when, people actually had landlines,
Oh, yeah. Huh?
This was a landline number that we had. So I could sit there in that carport with binoculars and at night and literally watch them pick up the phone. I call and, see who picks it up because we're looking for a visual to verify who we're looking for. This house has 3 brothers and some of them have wives, and it's like a lot of people in this house. So they basically work in it while they live in it.
Okay.
That's what they were doing. So we never saw him. We didn't see him. So we had to get more creative to flush him out, right? So we went to the Gulf. I forget which area of the Gulf, but we rode over. We were able to find out that they did some work somewhere else. I remember that. We checked Home Depots and Lowe's and stuff like that because they'll have boards where they put their cards up to get business.
Oh yeah, I remember. God Almighty. Yeah. You're bringing up stuff that it's coming back to me now.
Yeah. So we were able to find an area that they'd been in, and the name his last name is what we're able to identify.
Oh, Bob the Builder here.
Scoop, looking dizzy, and
Okay,
roll
all
it.
right.
That's Bob the Builder.
Okay, cool. Lost my train. Oh, okay. So what we did, me and this the other bounty hunter guy, what we did was we posed as homeowners. We went to a real estate company that had a house that was on the market, and we told them who we were, what we're trying to do, and they were like, "Oh, that's so cool! We want it.
Right.
What do you need?"
Well, back then you didn't have.
No, this is before. This is before Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, it's before any TV show.
I've been around before he was. Honestly, I don't know. He could have been doing his thing. I don't know, but the show wasn't on. We'll put it that way.
The show wasn't on.
No.
I don't think many people has ever really met when
I remember when I saw the thing for the ad for Dog the Bounty Hunter coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I was in New York City, and I saw a poster, and I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Some dude,
it didn't exist back then.
Some dude with a mullet.
And I didn't know what to think of that. I'm like, okay, that's kind of crazy looking, but all right, he had a good run.
Yeah, it turned out to be a big thing.
Yeah. So back to the story. So we set up in this home as homeowners. All right. They even let us borrow they had like a Bronco with Florida tags. So we had a rental minivan, and it had North Carolina tags or something. Well, we're trying to keep it completely, inconspicuous. Yeah. So they let us use that. We're cool. So we split up. We had a number. We called and said, "Hey, we got this house for sale, and it needs some dock work. It had a little waterway in behind it. We need some dock work done in order to get this sale to push through. We'll pay you, X amount of dollars."
You're flaunting the money in front of them, dude. They can't resist.
Right. You get priority, right? So we're trying to speed it up. We're like, "Look, we got a sale for this. If you guys can do it, you get the job, and
Get a bonus.
you're going to make good money. So they met us. They met with my partner. He would have known me. So I stayed across. There was like a shopping center across the way there. It was like a 4-lane highway thing, and I just blend in with my little minivan. I'm sitting there looking with binoculars from across the road, and he pulls in, and then eventually I see this work truck come, and these guys get out, and the guy's like, this needs repair, and whatever. They're happy, they got the job.
Right.
Well, our guy was not in the car. He wasn't in the truck, but he overheard one of the guys say that they had to go pick Bob up, and bingo, that's our guy.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
So you're still and you don't have trackers then either.
No, we did not have trackers.
God.
No, we had to literally follow, and not lose. So I know, man. It's like things have gotten a lot easier. Than
Yeah, they
used to
have.
be. Yeah. So he calls me, and this is back. This is going back. I remember I had one of the first cell phones. Was remember the ones that looked like a little brick, Nokias.
Oh yeah. I had one.
Nokia.
I had a little Nokia.
Yeah. I think that's what I had when he called me. And
Those were some good phones back then.
Oh yeah, you could throw it at a wall and it was fine.
You could knock somebody out with
Yeah, you could. He calls me and he's like he's not in the car, but we need to follow him. And it's cool. So he goes over to hurries up at the parking lot. He said keep an eye on him, and he gets over there after their meeting and jumps into the minivan with me and leaves the Bronco there. We head down the road. And we're following. We're having to catch up. They're a little bit ahead of us, and we spot them, and we see them pull into this little strip mall.
Right.
And one of the things that was in the strip mall was a little jewelry store. And we pull up, and we know where they're going to go. They're going to go back to the house. We're just wanting to catch them, hopefully picking him up. Well, we pull into the jewelry store, and we go in and we're like, hey, was this guy, we had a printed picture of the guy.
Oh, yeah.
It's not pulling up your website and showing pictures on your phone.
Yeah.
It's a printout. So we're like...
and the printouts wasn't the best in the world.
They weren't the
back
best
then.
quality in the world. No, they're usually black and white. You usually didn't have color.
God, man, yeah.
Yeah.
You make me feel old now, man. I'm sitting there, oh, damn, that was...
So... we show them the picture, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, he was in here," and he had a wedding ring. He was trying to what was he doing? He was doing something with this ring, but he had to come back and get it. And we're like, we told him, we kind of bumped it up what his charges were.
Oh, man. Did you pull a Rob?
Well, again, we have to speed the process up. So we kind of bump them up a bit. It's a means to an end, right?
Right.
All right. So they're like, yes,
They
he was,
know.
isn't it?
Whatever.
Yeah. So now we know that he's there, right?
Right.
We know he's there.
So what are y'all thinking? Are y'all thinking about waiting for him to get back to the jewelry store, or?
All right. So now we know that he was being picked up. We know that he had a ring there and he's in the vicinity. So what we do is we go back to the house where the guy lets us, right next door to him. We just let them go. We know where they're going eventually. So,
Well, you know where he lives.
Yep.
You know that he's being picked up, so he's got to get a ride from this guy. And he's got a ring at
They're
the
all his
jewelry
brothers.
store.
They're all his brothers.
Yeah. So they're all going to be close.
Yeah. So we go back and we watch, and later that night, we see a car. It's a different car that came out. And we're like, all right, let's follow this car. And we follow it for a good ways. They go to a Walmart. And we didn't see, we were trying to, get away from, but still watch the entrance. not right next to him, but you know how it goes. You know, when you're trying to be a little inconspicuous when you're trying to spell somebody. So we see 2 people get out and go into Walmart, and we're like, crap. All right, well, let's just watch that car when they come back and see who it is. Well, it wasn't too long. It wasn't too long. And here comes Bob out the door. Ooh. I remember he was holding 2-gallon jugs of water.
Getting ready to go build
in each arm, heading back to the house. And
getting ready to go build a pier.
I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hit him with the car.
I get out and, run down there and like, what's up, Bob? His eyes got like freaking that big.
Oh, yeah. I know that look, bro.
You know that look?
Like,
yeah.
Like, oh, shit. And you're like,
he's like, how did you? And like, he just couldn't believe it. And that was awesome. So I grabbed him. And
how was the ride home?
Well, we weren't done exactly. We still had, that was kind of late at night. We had the next morning to travel. Because, we've been up for days, like 2 days. We hadn't really slept much.
That's not a good feeling.
No. But the next morning, early, we headed out. And,
what size was that bond? Do you remember?
10,000.
10,000?
I remember it was a 10,000.
That's worth going down to Mississippi for.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I was young, and I was, this was my first big, I want to say it was my first, big skip. And it freaked me out, I was like, I'm not gonna go out like that. So
wow. So y'all got up, y'all came back. How was the ride with him? Was he like cool?
No, he was fine, man. He was he knew he had to deal with it at that point. That relief.
So 98% of the people we go get, guys, is they're pretty cool on the way back.
Usually, for the most part, because they know they did wrong. You get tired of looking over your shoulder all the time.
Yeah, it's like a relief of stress.
Yeah, and that's what we did, is we're relieving his stress. He knew he was going to have to face it.
Until you told the neighbors that it was different charges.
No, that wasn't the neighbors. That was the jewelry store.
Oh, the jewelry store. Until they find out.
We just needed to confirm the guy was there. That's all.
That's a trick. That's a trick you told me about, and I ran with it. Remember when we went to go get
it's, yeah. But
So was that New Hanover?
Yeah, that was New Hanover. Yeah.
But that's when the jail was downtown.
That was when the jail was downtown. That's right. Yeah.
Man, I remember that too.
That big, ugly red brick building down here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's gone now, but.
Yeah, the church bought it. So.
Well, cool. So, Bob the Builder, do you know where he's at now?
I have no idea, dude. That was so long ago. Don't know. But I think he learned a lesson. I hope.
Most of the people I think we go get, I think they do learn a lesson. Most of them. Some of them don't. Like the guy we had to get. Remember how we got him like 3 times?
Oh, yeah.
he was just dumb.
Oh, yeah. That made me think, man. Just like what I have found in the news that I got a notification about last night.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were telling everybody that we were going to go do a pickup.
Yeah, we went and watched the place for 12 hours. And
yeah, we had another bondsman that contacted us that wanted us to go get one of his skips. What was that, like a week ago? How long ago was that? About a week ago?
It was a little over a week ago.
Over a week ago. Anyway, we went and did it after our podcast, and we spent the day out there.
Yeah, just watching the house. And in that afternoon, we finally went in.
We contacted local PD, talked to a detective. They all had been there trying to get this guy, and no luck. They said that they thought the guy was in the house, but they couldn't go in.
Right.
Remember? And nobody had been there for quite a while. And then, we watched. So the guy had to have his defenses down. There's no way that he suspected that somebody was out there after this much time. You can't be that hyped up all the time. You'd be a nervous wreck.
And when we searched the house, they didn't even know where we were sitting at because we were hidden.
Yeah.
We searched the house. There was no signs of them. And that was a week and a half ago. And evidently this happens
Sunday night. So I get a notification that the guy, I forgot his name, so I wasn't 100%, but I text you the link, and it was actually the guy that we were looking for.
Yeah.
That evidently the cops had been. It said several bondsmen had been there. I don't know what they mean by several. We're two, and I think maybe one had been there several months prior. But anyway, the guy wasn't there when we went, and there were no signs of him. But they got him. Something about gunshots and fire. He said a fire, in the bathroom.
Yeah, and it heard gunshots, and fire department had to get called out. And
so that bondsman shaved it really close. I think it was due next week. Is 50? What was it? 50,000.
27,500.
27.
That's what he told us.
You never saw a forfeiture?
I saw one forfeiture, but you know how it works.
Oh, yeah.
It could be multiple charges and have different forfeitures. I don't know. They give you the lowest one, so they pay you the lowest fee.
Right.
That's,
tricks of the trade.
Yeah, tricks of the trade that we don't like.
Yeah.
But it happens.
Yep.
But,
so.
Man, 31 minutes already. Damn.
Yep.
That went quick.
So that was Bob the Builder.
Yeah, Bob the Builder. So that was in 1998.
Old school. But yeah, my very first skip that I had to deal with on my own, basically. I can say it's definitely better having a team.
It is.
People that have different perspective, and we have a ton more tools now.
Oh yeah.
To do things in an old school way.
So much easier to find you now.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because everybody has a digital
footprint. Yeah, but at the same time, there are more ways to be deceptive than there used to be.
Yeah, but you can. Oh, we've been doing this long enough, though, Chad. That you can tell the difference, and you can filter out the crappy stuff and what's really real. And we've done that a ton,
right? And
it's happened.
Yeah. Well, we're not perfect. There are going to be more skips. We got one. We're down. We're doing good.
Yeah,
we're clearing our board down. Any of you guys out there need some help, let us know.
Yeah, we'll be more glad to help you out, but make sure you have some paperwork and have some stuff in.
And have a legitimate source that's giving you information.
Absolutely.
About someone being in a house or not, because we're not. I think this bondsman's trying to set us up to go in and
third party. Well, all right, so
you can't go in a third party home.
You just can't go busting in a door like you would see on TV or.
We can first party home.
Yeah, first party. Yeah, but when it comes to third party, no, we can't. So there's different ways to get into the house of search, but you got to do it the right way. And if you don't do it the right way, you can have a world of trouble.
Yeah, you've been in a lot of legal
felony
issues,
breaking and entering, kidnapping. Yeah, I mean, you can get all kinds of trouble. And guess what? I like my family, so does Chad, and we like to stay out of jail. We like helping people.
We play by the rules, so you can do it.
Yeah.
You just got to be patient.
So that was a good story, Chad.
Yeah.
I remember you said something to me yesterday about. I was like, man, I think you need to tell that one. So I think that's a good one for Bob the Builder.
Yeah, man. So
maybe
wanted to tell that one before I forgot it, but I think legitimately, I think that was my first one that I had to go find.
I might the next story we tell. I might tell the one where I got the dude on the boat.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
I'm commandeering this boat.
I'm commandeering your boat.
It's like straight out of the movies.
That was fun.
I like when they go home somebody in a car and they pull him out of the car. I'm commandeering your car.
Yeah, I did that to his boat for real. He's like, yeah, I'll take it. I was like, all right, cool.
Did you throw him out?
No, he drove.
Oh, cool.
He drove. I stood on the front like Captain Jack Sparrow.
That's how you should do it.
I did. I stood on the front like Jack Sparrow.
Oh yeah.
I was like, come here. But that's for another story.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up.
So if you like what you hear, you can also see us on YouTube, Off the Hook Podcast. We streaming on all streaming platforms. And comment, contact us. If you want to be on the show, let us know. Chad, be more than glad to have you on. I would too. And
We'll make it happen, Captain.
Hey, you can come in and also check out some of the gear we got because it's coming. It's coming.
Yep. Off the Hook.
All right, guys. We love you. We meant it. I'm Rob.
And I'm Chad.
And we'll talk to you later.
You've been listening to Off the Hook with Chad and Rob. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And be sure to follow us for notifications for another exciting episode. But in the meantime, you can go to our website at www.offthehookbail.com to see more. So until next time, stay out of trouble, or it'll be you that needs to get off the hook. See you soon.